Hi, Torey Eisenman with Benchmark Real Estate Group, and today we're with Monte Drenner from MTC Counseling. And I met Monte probably close to a year ago. And
Probably more than that.
More than a year ago?
Yeah.
Probably a couple years ago. And I always loved your sense of humor, because we live in a stressful society faced with, I don't know, between internet and cell phones, sometimes I think the day is, am I going to make it through the day?
Right.
So I know you deal a lot with people that are faced with anxiety, and maybe somebody's taking Xanax, maybe somebody just feels like they can't cope, and especially in a business environment, being self-employed or an entrepreneur, we have to go into a lot of situations where we don't necessarily know people, and it can be stressful and it can be scary, and just in business in general, right? If you're a high-level executive and you have these meetings where you're being scrutinized, how does somebody deal with that?
Well, first of all, let me share. She said when we met, but not where we met. We have the same probation officer, but that's just between us. No, we know each other through the Chamber of Commerce. Amazing woman. If you haven't met her yet, does it a lot for the community. Really, just honored to be able to be here today and answer your question. So, the number one thing, that regardless if it's business, it's personal, it could be health. The number one thing that creates anxiety is uncertainty. See, the what ifs. Okay, so what if I go to this meeting, as you suggested, and it goes horribly bad? What if I don't have the answer for the boss? What if I don't meet my goals? What if my marriage doesn't work? What if my kids don't come out the way they're supposed to? I mean, there's all the what ifs, and when you think about how many areas of our lives there are, there's the physical, the mental, emotional, there's relational, and you add all of that together, it just creates a big wad of anxiety.
Is that the ant?
The ants, automatic negative thoughts. Right. Yeah, I mean, people master those.
So we're growing up. I was brought up in a somewhat eccentric family, what I would consider, and my mom always told me to be positive and gave us all these books, but what I watched was, if I plan for the worst, then I'm good if I get a good result, as opposed to planning for the best, right?
Right.
So how do you work through that? How do I, if I'm like, oh my gosh, everything's going to go horrible, which I think when you put that in the universe, you're going to get it. Yeah. So how do I shift my mindset? That's
an excellent question, because a lot of people have that same way of thinking. So what I tell people is to expect the best, but be prepared for the worst. See, because what we expect determines my emotional state. If I expect the worst, I will be in an anxious state.
Right.
And so I'm not a huge fan of the airline industry, but they do something very well. Because when you get on a plane, they don't say, excuse me, ma'am, are all your fares in order? Because we could crash and you could die. Right?
Thank God.
Right. But it could happen, right? But they don't expect the worst. They're prepared. I've worked with a lot of pilots, a lot of flight attendants. I mean, they can deliver babies, they can do CPR. I mean, they do amazing things. But if we expect the best and be prepared for the worst, because preparation actually decreases anxiety too.
So that sounds easy.
Easy? No. Simple, yes.
With some coaching.
Right. Simple. Right? See, everything I tell people is simple, because I'm simple. I can't really do a whole lot at one time. So, but I can keep things simple. But just because it's simple doesn't mean it's going to be easy.
Right.
But we've trained ourselves to think a certain way, and so now all I help people do is retrain their thinking.
So if somebody wants to speak with you, kind of get a better understanding of how this process can work, how do they reach you?
They can reach us through our website at mtccounseling.com, or our phone number is 321-663-4517. Would love to help in any way that we can.
Thank you.